are again. Yes, it is more of this. We are back together once more with a super duper live stream coming to you live from the birthplace of the English language, which just happens to be, do you know where it is? I have a feeling you do. Yes, it's England. We are back. There you are. It's ever so nice to see you here again. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan. That's me, by the way, in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you feeling happy? I hope you are feeling good today, because I am not too bad. I had a nice sleep. As I always say, if you want to wake up in the morning refreshed, always make sure you get a solid night sleep. A lovely dream, perhaps, as you drift away into the land of Nod, as we call it. Here we are then. My name is Duncan. I talk about the English language. You might say that I am an English addict, and I have a feeling up my left leg that you might be one of those as well. It's lovely to have you here again. The introductions have been done, and I am here with you for around about 50 minutes, maybe even 1 hour, if you behave yourselves, perhaps. We are back together. Hello to the live chat. Of course, it would not be this. It would not be English Addict without you getting involved as well. So hello to the live chat. I've noticed that Beatrice, you are first here today. You are the first one on the live chat. Congratulations. Very nice. It's good to know that your finger is very fast. We also have Vitas, close second, almost first, but today second. Maruts is here as well. Palmyra. We also have Zutzika. Nice to see you here as well. Can you see the sheep behind me? Look, there they are. There are some sheep in the field. And yes, that is the view right now out of my studio window. Everything is looking lovely today. It does look like autumn. It looks very much as if autumn is here. However, I was watching the weather forecast last night, and they mentioned, not directly, but they did say over the weekend that is coming this way, it is going to get very cold. And they didn't say it directly, but they did suggest that we might get some snow. I'm not sure if we will get any snow, but as you know, I have already predicted a harsh winter. I think we are going to have a lot of snow this winter. I would not be surprised. I know a lot of people are talking about global warming, but I think we are going to have a chilly, harsh winter. It is just a feeling that I have. I don't know why, but I just have a little feeling. So we will see if I'm right about my weather prediction, whether or not the weather will get worse or whether or not we will get some snow. We will have to wait and see. As you know, I love it. When it snows, I get very excited, in fact. Oh, who else is here today? Oh, very nice. We have Luis Mendez is here today. Hello, Luis. Nice to see you back as well. Can I say also a big thank you, Luis, for your lovely photographs that you sent for your anniversary, and your wife has the most beautiful smile. And can you pass that message on to your wife? That was lovely. I did enjoy seeing your photographs that you sent to me the other day. Christina loves snow. I do. I like snow. I'm not sure if I want to be out in the snow all the time. I could not live in a country that has a lot of snow. Parts of Canada get lots and lots of snow throughout winter and before winter begins, and as they go into the new year, quite often they have a lot of snow as well. I couldn't live in a place where it was always snowy or cold. I have to be honest with you. I couldn't live in a place like, I don't know, Switzerland, where they get a lot of snow. I couldn't live anywhere like that. I do like to enjoy the snow and the cold weather for a short time, but I couldn't do it all the time. Who else is here today? Yianni Haddad. Hello to you. I hope I pronounce your name correctly. I know sometimes I don't. Hello, Ariel. Oh, Ariel. Hello, Ariel. Thank you very much for your super chat on the live chat, of course. You are welcome to do that if you are feeling a little generous. Maybe you've recently won the lottery, perhaps. I don't know. If you feel like it. Thank you, Ariel. I like the concept of light regarding the spread of knowledge. Yes, I suppose we can talk about that particular thing, because that is today's subject, by the way. We are looking at words and phrases connected to light and dark. It might seem like a strange thing to talk about, but in fact there are many ways of using light and dark in everyday English, not only connected to colour or shade, but also other things as well. The way we view certain things in a light way or a dark way. So quite often those words can be used in many different ways. Of course, light can also be a sort of knowledge. If you awaken your senses to the world around you, you might say you have been enlightened. To be enlightened is to be informed. Maybe you discover many things about the world around you. Knowledge is often viewed as enlightenment, things that you learn about, things that you grow to understand over a period of time. We often say that you see the light or you become enlightened. So that is what we are talking about today. That is the big subject. Here is a phrase that I love, and I'm going to mention this phrase because I do like phrases in the English language, and I suppose that is the reason why I'm here. Do you ever find that you come alive at certain moments or certain times? To come alive means to suddenly become excited or maybe interested, or suddenly you regain your energy. I know I do. If I'm ever doing my live stream, I always feel a little bit more excited, a little bit more alive, energetic perhaps. So I come alive when I know that I'm doing one of my live streams. And you can, of course, use that phrase. To come alive means to suddenly become enthusiastic, maybe a certain thing, maybe a certain day of the week. Maybe there is something that is coming up in your calendar or your plans that you are excited about. You suddenly come alive. A person who gains confidence from doing a certain thing, we can say that they come alive. Certain types of performers, actors, singers, anyone who performs in front of other people, quite often they will say that they come alive when they do that particular thing. And I know I do. I love it. When I do my live streams, I really do feel as if I come alive. I feel suddenly lively, enthusiastic. I feel as if I have a reason to live. It's a great feeling when you come alive. So maybe a person who suddenly does something that they really enjoy, they come alive, they suddenly become more in touch with the people around them. To come alive. I love that expression. So something might make you come alive. Maybe if you have a day off work, maybe in the morning you wake up feeling very happy and excited. You come alive because you don't have the stress of your work on your mind. So you come alive, you wake up, you become very excited, like I do. Every Wednesday and Sunday. Don't forget, you can also find me on Sunday as well. And every Sunday, I am joined by Mr. Steve. So you don't just get one of us on Sunday, you get two human beings to watch. Hello to Inaki. Hello to you. Have you come alive today? Maybe you are especially excited or enthusiastic to join the live chat. And don't forget, you are very welcome to say hello if it is your first time. I know there are many people who are shy and a little afraid of saying hello. So if you are joining me for the first time, then please say hello. Don't be shy. Give it a try. Hello, Salma. Hello, Salma. I come alive when I play with my son. Yes, having your family around you. Maybe the things that you love or the things that you treasure. If they are nearby, you might feel more excited. You might feel more enthusiastic. You might have more energy because you are near to those you love. I think that is great. I think that is very interesting. What does come alive mean? Well, if you come alive, it means you wake up. You suddenly have a lot of energy, enthusiasm. So we often use that phrase figuratively. We are expressing the fact that that thing makes us feel excited. Thank you also to who else is here today? Oh, we have Ariel, who is very busy on the live chat. Thank you once again for your super chat as well. It's nice to see you here. So we are talking about a lot of things today. Mr. Steve is excited at the moment because he is about to get some new tyres for his car. It is strange. I've noticed sometimes Steve gets very excited by the strangest things. And at the moment, he's getting excited, very excited, because I have predicted that we're going to get snow. And Steve has decided to get some new tyres for his car so he's not slipping and sliding all around the road. Lorella says, I come alive when I travel around the world. Travel is an exciting thing to do if you visit a different place. Even if that place is within your own country, it's still exciting to explore, to find out new things about somewhere else. It is amazing, even if you travel only a short distance. So even here within England, you can travel to different parts of England and still find out new things. You can still meet interesting people. So I would always say that travel, however short or far, however near or distant you are travelling, it is always exciting, I know. I used to travel a lot in my younger years, but of course now I have more responsibilities, I have more work to do, so I don't have as much time to travel as I used to. But when I do, it is very exciting. Yes, you come alive when you explore, when you travel. Maybe you are getting away from your everyday stress and strain. That is another good reason to come alive, I suppose. I come alive when I get out of the town or the city and I can breathe in the fresh air. I agree with you. I think that's another good way of using the phrase come alive. Christina says, I come alive whenever I play sport or I am around or experiencing nature. Again, very similar. Getting outside, exploring, enjoying your surroundings. Yes, you feel so energetic. You come alive. So I often think of it as something that happens when you do something that gives you pleasure, or maybe something that makes you feel relaxed, or of course something that you just enjoy doing, like this, for example. I enjoy doing this. It gives me a lot of pleasure. So I would say that I come alive when I'm doing my live streams. I do like it. Hello, Shankar. Hello to you. I will give you a lovely wave. Thank you very much for joining me today. We are looking at an interesting subject, light and dark. Many words, many phrases, many ways of expressing those particular things. Beatrice says, I come alive when I can travel and see my friends in Europe. And I have more and more of my friends every year. Well, I'm not surprised, Beatrice, to be honest. You are a person, and this is something I've noticed about you. You do like travelling. And I would imagine that also when you travel around, you also make lots of friends. So yes, I think so. I think travelling really does broaden your horizons. It is something that gives you a lot of new perspective on the world, your view, the way you see the world around you. So that is what we are talking about today. I was feeling a little bit nostalgic. I was going to show probably something from the back of the house today, something that was there but isn't anymore, unfortunately. They have vanished, they have disappeared, they have gone. Of course. I'm talking about the cows. And I know a lot of you love seeing the cows. Sadly, they've gone. They disappeared last week. And also the sheep. The sheep have also disappeared from the back of the house. But I will always have the memories of the lovely, lovely cows. English Addict for a Wednesday. I hope you are having a good day today, and I hope you will stay with me. We are here together again. I hope you are enjoying my live streams. Yes, I am with you on Sunday and Wednesday. Some of these things will be changing, by the way, as we go into December. I'm not saying too much. I don't want to give away the surprise, but there will be some slight changes taking place during December. But of course, we have another week of November. So even next week, it will still be November. So this time next week, it will be the 29th of November. So we seem to have a lot of Wednesdays in November. I have noticed that. I don't know why. There seem to be more than the usual amount of Wednesdays. I'm sure there's a reason for it. Richard is here. Hello, Richard. Thank you very much for joining me today. It's very nice to see you on the live chat. We have a subject to talk about. I will bring it up on the screen for you to see. We are looking at words and phrases connected to light and dark. Words and phrases. So when we talk about light and dark, we are often talking about contrast. Things that are the opposite. So quite often, we are not just talking about whether there is light or whether there is no light. We are also talking about the differences between things, light and dark. You might describe truth and deceit as light and dark. They are contrasts. They are the opposites from each other. So you might use light and dark in many ways, and that's what we're looking at today. Different ways of looking at light and dark. So when we talk about light, we are talking about, well, first of all, we can use it as a noun, an adjective, or verb. Light can be used in more than one way when we are talking grammatically. Light as a noun is the thing. The adjective refers to how light something appears, the appearance of something. So the noun names light. The adjective shows how something appears, whether it is light or dark. So quite often we use light as an adjective as well. And of course, you can also use light as a verb, to light something. Maybe you light a fire. You light the room. So you might say that my studio, I have to light my studio so you can see me. So in that particular situation, we are using light as a verb. You can have light from the sun. So that is the noun. We are using light as a noun. Light from the sun. You feel the warmth. You see the light. Light is, in that situation, we are using it as a noun. You can also use it as an adjective. You might describe something as light. You might describe a certain colour, the appearance of that particular thing. A light blue hat. You are describing what that thing looks like. The adjective. You are showing how that thing appears. So once again, you are using the word light. In that situation, you are showing how it appears. And then, of course, as I said, you can use light as a verb. You light a fire. You light the room. You use the word light as a verb. We can also use light as the overall shade of something. How much light is on an object? So, for example, you might notice that I have light and also there is shade as well. So because I have bright lights shining on me, you can see that as I move, the light is changing. The overall shade of something or the appearance of something. So it is very obvious that when I move around, when I move my hands, you can see that my appearance is changing. The light is also changing as well as I move around. So light can be the overall shade of something or the appearance of something in a certain type of light. We might describe the way a person looks with their complexion. So when we talk about complexion, we are talking about the shade of a person, their skin colour, or maybe their skin tone as well. So if you have a light complexion, maybe your skin is very pale. You might have very pale skin. I know some people who have red hair. They often have a very light complexion. It means their skin is fair. There is not much colour in their skin. So I've noticed this. If you have red hair, you have to be careful how much time you spend in the sun. Quite often we use the word complexion. Complexion is the appearance of the skin. Some people, of course, don't like to use that term anymore for various reasons, but you can also have a dark complexion as well, if your skin tone is dark. Now, if I go into the sun, if ever I go outside on a sunny day and I catch the sunlight, my skin will go dark. I will darken in the sun. My skin reacts very quickly to direct sunlight. So I would say that my complexion sometimes is dark because you can see the skin tone quite clearly. To shed light on something. So this particular thing is being used as a phrase. To shed light on something is to expose something or to show something as it is. You shed light. You are exposing something. You are revealing something. You are trying to find out something that's hidden. You are trying to reveal something that has been a secret. You try to shed light on something. You try to find out more about a particular thing. Complexion, the way you look. The skin tone. Thank you, Beatrice. Yes, it is a new word for you. We do use it when we are talking about beauty products. So beauty products quite often refer to a person's skin type. Maybe it's very sensitive. Like me, I have very sensitive skin. Because I'm so sensitive, you see. I'm a very delicate flower. So to shed light on something means you are finding out more about a certain thing. You are revealing, or you are trying to find out more about that thing. You want to let other people know about something. You shed light on that particular thing to find out more about something. I mentioned this earlier, to see the light. If you see the light, it means you have realized something. You have received some sort of, like an epiphany, maybe. You have realized something. You have been influenced by something. Maybe something that you didn't know before, and now you do. You see the light. You have seen the light. So to see the light means to experience something that gives you new knowledge, or maybe to be inspired by something. We often refer to inspiration as seeing the light. You suddenly understand something very clearly. Maybe there is a certain subject that you are not very good at. And yes, I am going to say this. I am terrible at mathematics. However long you put me in a mathematics class, even when I was at school, I was terrible. I have never been able to see the light with mathematics. However, there are other subjects that I am very good at. I remember being in the classroom at school and being very interested in English, words, phrases, the way we use English in our everyday life. And you might say that I was inspired to use English in my life. In all of the jobs that I've done in the past, I suppose I've always used English in some form because I felt inspired by it. I always feel inspired by words and phrases whenever I hear a person give a speech and it has some sort of deep meaning. I often feel as if I have seen the light. I have been inspired or moved or encouraged by something that a person has said to me. And I have to say, it is a very powerful thing. As we all know, words and language are very powerful things. They can build someone up or they can tear someone down. Light. You might visit the bright lights. Whenever we say that, by the way, that means you are going to a city, a big city, a lively city, maybe a place where lots of things happen. Maybe you are trying to find your own personal fortune. Maybe you are going down to London to become a superstar. You want to be famous, so you go to the bright lights. You go to the place where all the action is. You might visit a place that is lively and busy, like I did a few months ago. I went to London and I made a video lesson in London. So you visit the bright lights, you go to a place that is busy, lively, there are lots of things going on, and quite often we think of the bright lights as being something that draws you towards it, rather like a moth flying around a flame. You want to get near, you want to get close to the action. You want to go and visit the bright lights. So you might visit the bright lights of New York. You might visit the bright lights of London. You go to see what it's all about. So there are many ways of using that particular phrase. Quite often when you go to a busy place with lots of things going on, we describe it as the bright lights. The big city and the bright lights. One's face might light up. A person's face lights up. In a certain situation, you might suddenly find yourself feeling very happy and excited. Maybe a person who receives a surprise, their face will light up. So when a person's face lights up, it means they look pleased, they look happy, they seem excited. I gave Mr. Steve a lovely Christmas present last year, and as he opened it, his face lit up. It means that he became very excited and very happy, joyous. So if your face lights up, it means you have become excited. You have become really, really enthusiastic. Your face lights up. We can also say that your face beams. B-E-A-M. Beam. So if you beam, it means you look excited and happy, and maybe also you have a smile on your face as well. If you beam, your face lights up. A person might be described as the light of your life. Maybe a person you love very much, maybe a person who is very dear to you, very close to you, very precious. We describe them as the light of your life. You are the light of my life. You are someone who is very special and precious to me. The word light is also referring in certain situations to weight, how heavy something is. So not only do we use light to refer to being in a bright place, light, it can also mean something that is not very heavy, something that is light. For example, Mr. Steve's pen. This is not very heavy, it is light. It is easy to lift. So the word light can also be used in other ways as well. Light as a separate definition. It is different from being in the light. Something light has very little weight. Of course, the opposite, dark, has nothing to do with weight. So the word dark can only be used in one way. Dark, lack of light. There is no light. But in this situation, the word light can refer to the weight of something. If something is not very heavy, it is light. So there might at some point be some confusion over the use of the word light. Lighten. Here's an interesting word. Lighten. If you lighten something, then you make it brighter. You lighten. You might lighten a room. You make the room lighter. You add more light to the room. So if you lighten something, it means you are making something brighter. You are introducing more light into the room. You are adding more light to it. So there are many ways of using the word light. Quite often we refer to the opposite of light as dark. Something dark. You might notice behind me. It is getting very dark behind me because, of course, at this time of year, the days here are short. So the darkness arrives much earlier. So normally around about 3:30 or maybe even 4 o'clock, quite often it will be dark at this time of year. So we look at things that are dark, unlit. Something that is unlit means it is dark. A room can be unlit. If there is no light in the room, you can say that it is unlit. There are no windows. There is no lighting. It is unlit. Of course, when we are talking about weight, we can also say that something is light or lighter. There is little or no weight. Something is lighter Maybe one thing is heavy and the other thing is light. You are comparing those two things. The light thing is lighter. So when we talk about dark, we are talking about things that are unlit. They have no light. There is little or no light at all. So maybe at night time you go out into the streets and maybe there are no lights around you. Now here in the UK, many of our roads and streets do have lights. Street lights are everywhere. However, in certain places you might find there is very little lighting. There are no street lights, and those places are unlit. There is little or no light around. So if something is dark, you can describe the thing as being unlit. A dark place, a dark room, a dark street. There are no lights along the street. It is completely dark. Another thing we can use, we can say that something is dark, moody, grim, unpleasant. So when we say something is dark, we can say there is no light. We can also say that something is moody. Maybe if there are grey clouds over your house, you might say that it is a dark, moody, grim, gloomy day. There is very little light around. Maybe a type of thing that makes you feel unhappy or upset can also be dark. Maybe a type of story or something you hear in the news might be dark. It is a dark story. Moody, grim. Maybe that is a new word for you. I don't know. But if something is grim, it means it is unpleasant. It is unhappy. It is not a nice thing to experience. You might have a dark day, like today. You can see behind me already. It is getting dark outside. The darkness is falling. You can see that the darkness is arriving here in England because we have very short days. Here is a phrase connected to dark, to be in the dark. So this can be used figuratively when we are talking about a situation or something that we are confused about or something that we don't know about, something that we are unaware of. We can say that that person is in the dark. They don't know about that certain thing. Maybe you go into a room and you find that there is no lighting in the room. There are no lights in the room. You are in the dark. But in this particular sense, in this sentence, in this phrase, we are saying that you are unaware of something. You don't know about something. You are in the dark. Maybe a friend has a secret that you don't know about. They know about it, but your friend keeps you in the dark. You are unaware. You don't know about it. A phrase, there are dark clouds ahead. That means that the future might not be very pleasant. There might be some difficulties. There might be some problems coming this way. So we might say that there are dark clouds ahead. The future is uncertain. We don't know what is going to happen next because there are dark clouds ahead. We can also say dark days. There are dark days ahead. Maybe if you are in a situation where you are unsure of how you are going to live or survive. Maybe you are about to lose your job. Maybe you are finding yourself in a different situation where things might be unpleasant. You might say there are dark days ahead. Things are uncertain. As I mentioned earlier, dark can refer to a type of thing, something dark, gloomy, or somber. So again, another interesting word. Maybe this is a new word for you. Something somber is something moody, unpleasant, sad, or maybe something a little frightening as well. Something that makes you feel afraid can be somber. Something that is a sad situation, a dark situation, a gloomy situation, a somber situation. A type of story might be somber or dark. Certain types of humour. So some people like to make jokes about things that are serious or maybe things that are unpleasant. We can say that a person has dark humour. They like to make jokes about unpleasant things, maybe things that are difficult to talk about. Something can also be dark and shadowy. We might describe something that is unclear, something that hasn't been completely revealed. Can be dark. It can be shadowy. It is unclear. So we often talk about things that may be a little wrong, illegal, something that you are not sure of, maybe a type of person. Maybe you meet a person and you are not sure what they are like. They might be shadowy. They might be a person who does not reveal everything about themselves. And as we come towards the end of this, a dark deed. Something that is done, that is harmful, something that a person does that is unpleasant. Maybe a person does something against another. They perform a dark deed. It means they do something bad, unpleasant. So we do often find that the word light and the word dark do have very specific uses. Good and bad, light and dark, pleasant and unpleasant. It is something that happens quite often. What about you? Can you think of any phrases using light and dark? Maybe one that I've missed out. There are others, of course, but we do generally often tend to use light and dark as positive and negative. Things that are good, you look on the light side of life, you look on the dark side of life. Even in movies and literature, in Star Wars, for example, you have the dark side. That means the evil side. So it is interesting to see how these particular phrases and also these words here are used in general life. I will be going in a moment. Oh, Ariel says, Mr. Duncan, you are an enlightener. I hope so. I like to think that. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I am. Maybe some people learn something from me and maybe others don't. I don't know. I'm not here to say whether that is true or not. But thank you very much anyway. Thank you very much. To enlighten someone. Yes, to enlighten someone is to inform someone. You are telling them something. You are giving someone a useful piece of information, something that is useful. Yes. Beatrice says, Mr. Duncan, there is a great phrase that Inaki used earlier. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. You're right, yes. There is light at the end of the tunnel. When we say that, we mean that there is always something good approaching, even if the period of time that you are living in now seems bad or gloomy. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. If you look ahead, if you look far into the future, maybe things will be better. And it is something we often use. It is a phrase we often say when we are trying to encourage another person to look on the positive side. Don't worry too much. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. I know many people were using that particular phrase during the pandemic. A lot of people were saying, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Do not fear. Do not worry. Things will get better. As they often do. Have you noticed that in life? Quite often things do get better and life does improve. Yes, that's right. Beatrice says, Mr. Duncan, during the pandemic, you said this every day when you were doing your live streams, your special live streams. Yes, I did. I said that quite often. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. Good days, bright days will always be there. Sometimes you just have to wait for them. It's not easy, I know. I am going in a moment as the daylight disappears behind me and it starts to get dark because winter is approaching here in England and the days get shorter and shorter. Christina says, I am still waiting for the light to come. Well, it will. And that is the positive part of that phrase, you see. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. You travel forwards, you keep moving, you don't stop, you don't give up. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. And on that positive note, I will leave you for today. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. I hope it's been interesting. I really do hope it's been interesting. I will be back with you on Sunday at 2 p.m. UK time. Mr. Steve will also be here on Sunday. We have a busy couple of days coming up, by the way, because we are moving furniture over the next couple of days. So myself and Mr. Steve, we will be driving around in a large white van moving furniture. We might talk more about that on Sunday. We will see what happens. So I have to be careful not to injure myself, not to break my back, or to damage any other part of my body. I will be very gentle. Thank you very much for your company. Thank you very much, Beatrice, Christina, Lewis. Thank you, Vitas. Thank you, Alessandra. Thank you, Ariel, for your lovely super chats. And I will be back with you on Sunday. Don't forget, 2 p.m. UK time is when I'm back with you. And of course, until the next time we meet here, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Stay happy, stay cheerful. Oh, also, if you don't mind, could you please give me one of these as well? I will be very pleased if you could do that. give me one of these, and I will be a happy man. Thank you very much for your company, and of course, until Sunday, you know what's coming next. My stomach is making a strange sound. I think I might be a little bit hungry. Ta-ta for now.